All right, everyone, I'm back with Joe Corcione. That was so botched. I'm sorry for all you Italians out there. I'm a Polak, so I really screwed that up. Back with Joe from Trainual, and now we get into rapid fire, where hopefully, not like he didn't let us down his guard before, but now he even gets more open. Okay. What was your most memorable year and why?
Oh, honestly, it's been this one so far. Like, I think, I've hit all the goals that I've wanted to, like, personally in my life, but at the same time.
But then he didn't set high enough goals, damn it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but it's interesting because
I'm just throwing that cliche out there.
I agree. Like, I mean, I've hit all the things that I've wanted to do. I launched my coaching business. I thought it was incredible, and the podcast has grown to new heights, and Trainual has been going really well. What's interesting too is literally 3 weeks ago, I actually unexpectedly lost my father too.
Condolences.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, but very healthy, 56 years old, no health problems, just gone like that. And that's it's one of those things where it's like, and I remember the day before it happened saying this was the best year of my life, and that happened the next day. And yeah, so this has been the most memorable year, I think, by far, which is interesting. But I think, I appreciate the condolences and everything. It's also just given me clarity, clarity on life, and knowing that it
wakes you up in a hurry, doesn't it?
Anything can just kind of go like that. And so I think that's a good lesson.
Not to patronize you or anybody that's listening, but it seems, and it's funny, you wait till you get older like me. Every year now, those deaths become more and more prevalent, and you hear more and more people impacted. And I've gone through it with my own father, but it's surreal when you start thinking about things through different lenses, and you hear more and more about it. And then you look back as when you were a youngster, when everyone was giving you that advice, and you were like, whew, in one ear and out the other. Yeah. And no, just thanks for sharing, because a lot of more people need to hear that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
What skill do you think everyone should have?
Sales, by far. You got to learn to sales. If you can learn how to sell, you'll never be broke.
What would you like to do if and when you retire?
I never want to retire. I want to work for the rest of my life. Not work at work hard, but I always want to be contributing. Retirement to me has never been a great idea. I think I always want to be contributing in some semblance. So that's my answer to that. I don't think I'm ever going to retire.
If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
Oh man, if I'm being honest, probably being on my phone too much, because I get hooked in there. I love the Instagram algorithm. That thing has my wants and needs and desires down to a T, so it hooks me in. At
least you're honest.
Yeah, I would say cutting down the time on Instagram.
We found your kryptonite.
Yep, that is it.
All right, we didn't go into your you being a foodie. But what is something you are great at cooking? I'm
terrible at cooking. So my fiance, if I said any answer on here, my fiance would literally come calling me immediately, be like, "What did you say on there?" So I'm terrible at cooking.
Well, then let's go down your foodie thing. What's the best new foodie thing that you're into?
I mean, I love artisanal pizzas. And so I grew up in New York, and so obviously
that's sacrilegious for you. Isn't it?
It is sacrilegious, but there are some really unique pizza spots here in Phoenix too that I love to try and test out and everything like that.
Good food is good food.
Yeah, good food is good food, and Phoenix I love the spots here. So I usually, anytime I'm in a new city, I always try to look up the best pizza place, and then I actually have in my phone all rankings of each of the pizzas that I've tried.
He's the guy that breaks Yelp, so don't worry about it.
Yep, that's me. Yep.
Do you have a favorite quote?
I don't know if I have a favorite quote exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
A lot of good quotes in there for sure.
Fondest memory as a kid.
It's an amalgamation of memories, I feel but it all comes back to one thing. I think for me, one of the things that keeps coming back to me is I would grow up kind of in a place where a lot of people said it's a job, you're not supposed to like it. You're not supposed to, do it. You're supposed to do it for the money. And I remember hearing that. And even before I started reading books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad and all these other books as well on entrepreneurship, and even knowing what it was, that never made sense to me. It always really made me angry, because I was how, why does your job have to be something you don't like? And that's been a guiding light in any career decision and also life decision that I've kind of made in terms of why do I want to set up my life on something I don't like? I've always said you can optimize your life to be fulfilling. And I think that's it. And actually, to go back, I'll actually say one of the greatest quotes then. Now, I do have a good quote. Life is not about success. It's about fulfillment, which is how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself.
Ooh.
And that, to me, has been the guiding decision between literally every decision I do in my life.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Cookies and cream, by far.
What's your worst fear?
It's so funny because someone asked me, my sister asked me this question the other day too. And I
said you.
Yeah, I was it's you. No. I think right now my worst fear in life is like having a catastrophic injury that wouldn't allow me to run. And, it's funny because I get that a lot because they're like, oh, like you shouldn't put so much of your identity in running. And like, I get that, like, and I know I'd be okay without it, but like, yeah, that's like my worst fear. So like, even if I like feel like a little tingle in like my feet or my legs or something like that, I start freaking out going on WebMD. So it's losing the legs. That's the biggest fear.
What did you generally learn recently?
Yeah. I mean, to go back to the experience with my dad, I just learned that like literally life can happen in a snap. I talked to my dad 2 days before. He was super happy, super healthy. I'm getting married in January. We were talking about the wedding and everything like that. And then literally 2 days later, I got the call from my sister saying he was gone. And so I learned recently, like, because here's the thing, like everyone talks about, oh, give your person a hug because you don't know when it's the last time it's there. But let's be honest, like everyone's like, that's not going to happen to me. Like I said it for years. I was like, it's not going to happen to me. Like whatever, like blah, blah, blah. And then it did. And so that's a real thing. And I think that is the lesson I learned the hardest way possible, I believe. And so, but it's something that I'm always going to take for the rest of my life.
What occupation would you have liked to have tried or were you destined for other than what you're doing now?
Honestly, I think like a sales executive or someone who's doing like sales.
You could totally fit it.
I love sales, man.
What do you think, Kendall? I think he might pass the litmus test on that one.
I mean, it's funny because I love business. I love running and I know as a running guy, but oh my gosh, do I love sales. I think like running a race is great, but like closing a deal, like the amount of dopamine that rushes through my head is unbelievable.
I'm sure I'm walking you right into this one. What is the best part of your morning and why?
Oh, the run. Yeah.
Geez, there wasn't Captain Obvious. It's, I was going to make some smart ass comment. I'm not going to go there. Okay. Who's your favorite person in the world right now and why?
Well, it was my dad to kind of keep bringing it back. And so it's my dad for sure. Yeah.
I'll let that one go.
No. It's good. I'm totally okay to talk about anything. Yeah.
What would you like to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for inspiring people that they can do whatever they set their mind to. And not just like, yeah, you can do it. You can believe it. Like people would be like, oh no, I can do whatever I want. And Joe helped me to believe that. Yeah.
Cool. What is the one crazy thing you'd like to do if there were absolutely no consequences?
Oh man, I don't know.
Run a 200 naked?
Maybe, yeah. Run a 200 naked. I don't know. Like I feel like.
Hey, look, there's Joe.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
he's a little sore after mile 300.
Oh man, what would I want to like if there was no consequences? The intrusive thoughts are just abound right now. I mean,
This isn't rated. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Oh gosh. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it would be like kind of fun to be like, walking around naked. Like, I just want to like, cause like monkeys get to do it. Like, I don't know. It just seems freeing.
What movie could you watch over and over again?
Star Wars, A New Hope. Like oh man, like
that's the original one.
The
right?
original one. Yeah. Not even everyone says Empire. I think A New Hope is better. The scene where he's talking with his uncle about how he wants to do something bigger, and they're like, "No, you got to be on the farm." And he goes out and he stares at the twin sons, and the twin sons representing the two paths that he can take in life, and he knows it's great. And you have the music that John Williams masterfully has on there, like he's destined for something great. And like I saw that, and I was like, oh, like I got the chills up and down my spine right now. Like it is.
No,
like,
I couldn't hear the passion in your voice at all.
Yeah, exactly. But like that, I was like, oh, I resonate so much with that. And so every time I see that scene, it's just I get the tears in my eyes. It's just so powerful. Yeah.
All right, what are you reading or listening to right now?
I'm actually reading a book. Was very relevant to Trainual too. But it's called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So it's excellent so far. So for me, like I know that a big part of buying back your time is like delegation and documentation. And that talks about in the book, and I know that. But like I'm more like involved in like trying to listen to Dan's system of like how do you who are some of the first people to hire and like all those kind of things? How do you structure your business? Because as I'm looking to scale my coaching business, I'm trying to find out how to buy back my own time. So yeah, that's been a great book I've been reading. So, and shout out Dan, he's actually an advisor for us at Trainual too. So I would have read the book even if he wasn't an advisor, but he's an awesome dude.
All right, thanks again, Joe. Really appreciate you being on today.
Thanks, JJ. I appreciate you, man.